Where do I edit the stream settings? Let's see. I need to change the title here. That's interesting. How do I change the title? Maybe I can edit it here directly. Maybe I can... Okay. Explaining some fight strategies. There we go. Let's see if the title change worked. I guess it worked. Yep. Good stuff. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna take a look at is this EX5 refight using Chloe as a tank. So let me scroll right all the way to the team composition and items. Here. So the idea of this fight is this. This fight has a pretty interesting strategy. I need my hunters to have more speed to begin with, so next time I do it, I'll give them more speed. But if you take a look at this, so the main skills here are Charming Allure, that's Chloe's taunt, and then Scalding Storm for Lucetta and Gelid Storm. This allows us to break the ads that have 4 shields but are not weak to bow. Crossfire and Ashlyn is really important here. Ashlyn or Hunted, just so we can break during the crit turn. If your Chloe is dying too much, so the Origin Bow is what gives the most HP, but you can make her a Fortune Bow and give her a ton of HP. She doesn't need to deal any damage whatsoever. Now the important thing is to conserve BP so that you can break a very specific amount of shields, as we're gonna see. Let's go back to the beginning. So what I'm doing here is taunting, just so we make sure that no unit gets blind outside of Chloe. And then we're gonna shower with Scarecrow, break shields with Lucetta, and crossfire with Uni, and this guarantees that we can break these 2 ads. And with some speed accessories, we make sure that they don't act before we do that, because they really hit hard. So that's the idea for turn 1. So this is turn 2, and then the idea here is to that we kill these ads and make the great archer here with 1 shield, because on turn 3 we want to break with Ashland crit. He starts his critical phase. So let's Scarecrow is good here because his AoE hits 4 hits regardless. So that's what we're planning here. A shower of arrows. So as you can see here, now it's a matter of dealing 3 hits. We have 4 hits from Bertrand, 4 hits from Camilla, and 4 hits from Scarecrow. We need 3 hits directly on the archer to make sure he stays at 1. So that's what we're doing here. We're attacking 4 times with these guys and 3 times with Bertrand. That carries us to 11 shields, plus 4 hits from Scarecrow, that's 15. And by boosting Scarecrow, we want to make sure that we kill the ads this turn. So this is the gimmick turn. We need a critical hit. So when you're building your team, make sure that Ashland is the fastest. So give everything. He doesn't need to tank anything. He just needs to be the fastest so he can hit with a crit and break. And that's what you're gonna see here. Also, I boosted here, but you don't really need to boost. There's always Scarecrow to 4 hit, but if Scarecrow's SP starts running low, we'll need 4 hits from Ashland at some point. So what we did here was we used Chloe's Bow Death down just so the fight doesn't take forever. This isn't really necessary, but it adds some damage. And now the second turn, we want to nuke with everyone, but we want to taunt the Great Archer. So it has to be this turn, because Chloe's, even though it's a priority to taunt, if the Hunter's coming out of break, it's not gonna work. So he has to be taunted from this turn. And that's what you're gonna see. So some nuking here. Now, this turn, this is an important turn. We want to make sure that we break a very specific amount of shields here. We want to leave the archer at 8 shields, because next turn we will use the same set of actions we used on turn 1, and we want to leave the archer with exactly 1 shield so we can rinse and repeat. So that's what you're saying. It's 5 hits from Xanta, 4 hits from an attack here, that's 9. Then Flurry of Arrows, that's 11. And then Shower, that's 15 shields that we're killing. So the archer is going to be left with 8 shields. Now, we're just gonna repeat the pattern we used on turn 1. This time everyone has 8 shields. The good thing is that Ioni's fire breaks the ads, but doesn't break the Hunter. So we get to do the exact same thing as turn 1. We also want to taunt with Chloe, just so she's the only one getting the blind. Hello, Fingerway. What's up? Explaining some strategies here for the latest clears. It's a little hard to... I mean, I guess I could record it, but I'd rather just explain it afterwards instead of getting beaten and re-recording things. So what we're doing here, we want to kill the ads, and we want to break the hunter, and that we do with a critical hit from Ashlyn. Ashlyn is really important here. It could be Hanit, by the way. There's the first strike. Now this is the second break turn. Since the archer is already taunted, we could go ahead and use Chloe's bow defense down. What's really important is that Chloe stays in the front. But usually you'd want to heal her as well, so there's merit to both actions. This is just a turn to deal the most damage we can. Yeah, Chloe can also heal well with the magic bow. That's something to note. Okay, we're back to 23 shields, and we just rinse and repeat. We want to shave exactly 15 shields, so that our actions on the second turn will leave the hunter at 1 shield. There we go, 8 shields, and this is gonna be the exact repetition. So let's scroll all the way to the next break, and this is when the ads with 4 shields spawn, and they're not weak to bow. So what happens here? To begin with, I would like to give my guys more speed. I'm gonna do it next time. So same thing, we do the exact same set of actions that leave the hunter with 8. But this time, these ads, they're not weak to bow, and they're faster. So we want a higher speed that I didn't have. Good thing that Chloe could taunt everything with her priority taunt here. This is also a turn where the Great Hunter casts fire, I think. But still, what's important here is that we use Gelid Storm. This is gonna break 2 shields of the hunters. Shower of Arrows, it's gonna break 4 shields. And the Evening Calm Assault from Uni is gonna break the ads and break 3 shields from the Great Hunter. So that's quite clutch here. Again, Chloe takes some hits here, survives, good thing. Now we just do the same thing. We hit critical with Ashlyn and nuke the Great Hunter. So this is the break turn. Go ahead and nuke as much as we can. Gets up into the action. I used her ult here just for the healing, because there was already taunt there. So I guess anything works. And then the following turn I didn't have enough to make the Great Hunter stay at 15, so that was my mistake. If you take a look here, I didn't have enough, so the Hunter is at 9 shields. So that's why you should be saving SP instead of doing what I did. So here I had to YOLO things a little bit, but in the end I kinda got the clear, so I guess the health of the Hunter was already very low. I needed some critical hits here. It's fine. So that's the Hunter Floor 5 EX refight. If you give your hunters more speed than I did, then this is pretty much a safe clear with Chloe. Chloe's so good here. Let's move ahead to the next clear, and that would be beating Varkyn. So in this clear, I used my wife's account because it has fewer awakenings, just to showcase, because she had the units that I needed. So what we did here is we're fighting this fight with a requested roster. This is a fight request on Discord. Now Varkyn at this point is an easy fight. So these are the units that our friend on Discord had, the main units for the fight. So he has a 4 Cyrus, so he's it's a lot stronger than this guy. But with Cyrus, Fior, and some backpacks, Eliza would be optimal, but Eunice works too. He didn't have Eliza. So we just need a little bit of healing. Make sure we break the ads on one turn, and then break Varkyn and kill the ads the following turn, and then finish the fight. That's all it takes. And with fortune weapons, it's really not a big problem. So right, the most important thing here to escape Varkyn's wisp gimmick is that we break the ads on one turn, and then the following turn we kill the ads and break Varkyn. That's all there is to it, really. So if you take a look at the fight, Cyrus is just gonna cast his 3 times ice until the end of the day, days. So need some healing here. Cyrus. So Sophia is not really so useful until these guys are gone. So we just use Viola to break a lot of shields. I also casted anti-attack because the bottom dude has more HP and Fior doesn't hit as hard as Cyrus. So this helps make sure that he actually dies the turn I need him to die. I tested this fight before. Now we start buffing. We gave healing turn 1, we start buffing with Lynette, and use Viola to break some shields. It's interesting here, because Cyrus breaks 1 more shield than Fior, so at the end of the day, the shield breaks end up being synchronized. So this is an interesting trick. We broke as many shields as we could, same thing, and now what we want to do is break both these guys, but not break Varkyn, and also prepare the kill. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. I get a resolution here. So we buff with Lynette, break, use Yellow to help break. If Lynette dies here, it's not a problem. She already did what she was supposed to do. Now we just use... Like, Cyrus is just going to cast his AoE anyways. And we're gonna use Pomegranate Panacea so we can just max boost everything. And what happens here is we break Varkyn. Get some ice debuff. And now we just nuke him. Simple and easy. Alright, and this is Varkyn beating Varkyn with a custom roster. We requested roster. Now let's go to the next fight. So the next fight I think is an interesting one. It's a fight against Gertrude. And we wanted to 3-turn Gertrude in this fight. So the choice of the units here, it's a very particular one. What we want with this team is let me get to it. So Herminia is extremely good in this fight, because to kill Gertrude fast, we want to kill as many shields as we can. And Herminia is the one unit in the game that can kill 2 shields with 1 action. So you use her arrow from the sky skill turn 1, and then it's gonna break 1 shield turn 2 and 1 shield turn 3. She's the only unit that can do that. Other than that, we want Chloe for the buff. Richard, because he's just broken. He gives 15% physical damage up to the entire front row. Falco for the ultimate. With August A4, we get to use his ultimate turn 1. And Classes was my choice here because he debuffs physical defense and he breaks shields. So the idea is everyone that's going to do something here has to break a shield alongside with their action. The only unit that's not doing this is Ri'tu, just because her damage is just so insane. So the idea is every action breaks a shield. Herminia breaks 2 shields. Ri'tu has to cast Berserk, but other than that she's our main damage dealer. So that's the idea, break shields while doing something else. In the case of Chloe buffing, the case of Glass debuffing, the case of Falco also buffing. So that's what you're saying here. Herminia kills 2 shields with this move, which is excellent. So everyone here has dagger damage up in the front row. 32, we debuff dagger with August. Start nuking with... And we can use our BP because we are looking for a turn 3 kill, so there's no point in saving BP. So at this point, we want to nuke. We know there's an arrow from the sky, so Therion's gonna be the one breaking. He's the fastest, with max boost triple bite. And we want to hit triple edge because this is going to go above cap if we just hit the nuke. So that's what we want. And nuke with Falco because he can't do anything else anyways. So this is the arrow, breaks one shield. And August for the kill, and this is a marvelous clear as well. So that's the idea. In summary, we want to do something and break shields. It could be break shield and buff, break shield and debuff, break shield and buff dagger, break shield, debuff dagger like August. The important thing is to keep breaking. Good. Now, let's move on to the next fight. And that would be killing Gertrude. Sorry, Ri'tu in 3 turns. So for this clear to work, we need Odette to double cast turn 1. And the reason for this is if she doesn't double cast, we have a very real problem killing enough shields from Ri'tu to be able to kill on turn 3. And it's just a 10%, but the bright side of it is if it doesn't proc turn 1, you can just reset. It's not so much of a problem. Like if it had to proc turn 3, it would be so slow because we'd have to wait. But here the idea is to kill as many shields as we can. We save Eliza for Harley because Tikilen has her own passive magic up, and Harley is the one that needs the most support here to deal damage. Odette will usually just hit cap anyways. So we're just breaking some shields here. And see, this is the reason we need the double cast, just so Therion can break turn 2, and the other hits will also destroy some of Ritu's shields. So we're just nuke with AoE wind. We kind of got lucky here with Odette's double cast, but we didn't really need it. We could just use Harley AoE alongside with Idea, and we were gonna break just the same. So Idea here was a choice to hit 5 shields, because ordinarily we would only be able to so Ri'tu would be at 8 shields here, right? Because without the double cast. So what we would want would be Harley AoE to kill the remainder of the ads, and Idea would hit for 5, so Ri'tu would be left with 1 shield, and then Tikilen would break and deal a lot of damage, and Odette would nuke to kill. But we did get the double cast, so we can just go ahead and nuke with everything. We're missing the 15% damage that Tikilen breaking would do because I equipped her A4, but still. Odette is the main source of damage here. With an extra 15%, she would have dealt cap damage, even with her regular nuke. So there's, outside of equipping the most, the best items, the best fortune weapons I could get, there's nothing, the main thing that has to happen here is Odette double cast, so we get to shave enough shields. Okay, let's see. I have another one here. So if we wanna, and this is the second to last, we're gonna go to the Varkyn fight, and this time we want a 3 turn. So the idea here is we want to kill the ads. We want to kill everything with physical damage. So the 2 ads are weak to bow. And H2 is extremely powerful, so she can basically deal with Varkyn by herself. So that's the idea. Have some hunters here, Jumela and Hanit, to kill the ads. And since I'm not using, I don't want to waste turns using healing, I put Loomis behind Hanit because she would die without the healing. H2 has her skill to keep alive. Jumela, I just risked it. And here for Richard and Lynette, we're gonna be swapping them. So that's the idea. Kill the ads with hunters and let H2 deal with Varkyn. Here we see Loomis at work, healing Hanit passively. Some buffing. Oh, by the way, we're hitting with Ri'tu's nuke instead of the 6 hit because we won't have time to break Varkyn. So we just simply nuke him all the way to death here. There you go. Simple and easy. So just let Ri'tu work on Varkyn, and the archers kill the ads. And now this is one of the most fun fights so far. Just give it a minute to load. This is the Glossom fight, and we bring 9S so we can let her self-destruct to buff August. We want Wingate behind August because we're using our dark damage for Primrose, and August needs dark damage up. When he gets his enrage, he gets 30% magic up, but not dark damage up. So Wingate helps him deal 20% more damage on break. So we self-destruct, kill a bunch of shields. I also use August A4 on Primrose, just so we get to use full BP both turns on turn 2 and 3. So this adds a lot of damage to the fight. Now turn 2, we're just about buffing and nuking. So Lynette buffs and everyone else nukes. This time we have enough time to break, but I don't think we needed the break as well with Ri'tu to kill Glossom. And simple as that. So the idea in this video, the idea is to have 9S sacrifice and break shields to empower August, so he becomes an absolute beast damage dealer for dark damage with a dagger of fortune, a magic dagger. And that's it. I'm gonna stop it here. I hope everyone enjoyed. See ya next time.